Hypers, if you know what lolicon is, or what lolly porn is. I assume many of you do. Now, if you've watched me for a while, then you probably know I'm no fan of it. Not exactly big on the drawn CP. CP standing for child. I don't want to say it and get this video fucking demonetized, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? So yeah. Yeah, lolicon. The lolicons are people who consume lolly porn. It's kind of weird. I don't think it should be banned necessarily. I don't think there should be like a hard crackdown on the the creation of it or the consumption of it, because unlike real CP, there's no generally at least, unless I don't know what series of events would have to lead for an actual child to be exploited in the creation of lolly porn. But regardless of that, I think it's very creepy, and I think it's weird, and I think the people who consume that porn are probably, at least in the vast majority of cases, pedophiles. Now, I have railed against these people on Twitter quite a bit, not necessarily because privately that's the type of porn they like to consume, and that's just like, oh, there we go, but that's just generally what's been going on. It's because these people go really, really hard to defend their consumption of this material, and it just kind of pisses me off. And they tend to dogpile anybody who doesn't agree with their consumption of that material. So, really quickly, I want to talk about the lolicons on Twitter, because they're very ravenous, and they seem to have discords and shit like that, where they come together to organize harassment campaigns of anybody who talks negatively about their weird fucking pedophile porn, right? So, can I show this on stream? It's not lolly porn, don't worry. I can show some of it, because the first image here is NSFW, or the second image is NSFW, but the first one's not. Lolly porn literally looks like children. It's not even like high school anime girls who basically look the same as adults in manga, Xanderhall. They look like kids. They get off to things that look like kids. Yes, of course, Furman. That's the argument, but we'll get more into that in a minute. Here, actually, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll cut it, and then I'll just draw over the NSFW parts, okay? And that'll probably let me be able to show this on stream. There we go. That should do it. I should actually probably cover this part up just in case YouTube's algorithm wants to pull a fast one on me. So, how this started. Who knows the gimmick account on Twitter, Cringe Politic? I assume some of you have seen it. It's the kind of the Pepe symbol cringing, and it's cringe political posts. It's a good account. Now, Cringe Politic went after some lolicons recently on Twitter, and those same lolicons went through his or their likes on Twitter, their liked posts, and they liked these two images that I have very passionately censored here on screen. And because he liked these two images, tried to accuse him of being hypocritical about disliking lolly porn. Now, those don't look like kids? Yeah, they don't. I don't think anybody in their right mind would agree to that. Now, these two characters, from my understanding, are from a show called My Hero Academia. I've never seen it. I really don't. I don't really watch anime. I've seen Death Note and a little bit of One Punch Man. So that's my anime knowledge. But apparently, these two characters are 15 or 16 canonically in the show. Though clearly in this image, since they do not look like this in the show, I think we can assume these characters are either aged up or just adults, in this image. Okay, these are not drawings. This is fan art, by the way. These aren't actual images from the show. This is fan art of characters from the show. Now, I'm going to ask you all right now, why is lolly porn creepy? And why is it CP? I want to see if you guys know the answer to this. If you've watched my stream, you know, because I've debated lolicons before. A lot. They look like children? Yep. They look like children. This is an argument that a lot of lolicons like to make. The argument they make is that fictional drawn characters don't have actual ages. They aren't real adults, so they aren't real children. Generally, when you see lolicon characters, or like lolly characters, right? These are children. You look at them and you're like, holy fuck. These are kids. You're looking at kids right now. You can just look at it and tell. This is why we make fun of people who say, oh, they're not actually a kid. They're actually a 400-year-old dragon girl, yet they look like a fucking toddler, right? Because when we're talking about fictional ages, let's be completely honest here. When it comes to the ages of fictional drawn characters, the number of their age doesn't fucking matter. What matters is how they look, if they look like a child, or are like clearly drawn as an adult, or two, how they act. Because if we're being completely honest here, the depiction of the characters also plays into it, because a lot of pedophilia is also an attraction to the innocence and vulnerability of children as well. So you also do have to like add in their personality and maturity as they are depicted in whatever medium they come from. Obviously, if it's an OC character that's just drawn and there is no personality to it, then yeah, that wouldn't really account for it. But these characters don't look like children. These are adults here. Quite unrealistic adults, by the way. There are not a lot of like real adults in this world that look this way. Maybe there are. I imagine there's a couple, but that is this is a pretty unrealistic body type for even like very athletic, full-grown women, okay? Like, holy shit. That is pretty wild. So, not saving that. So with that said, I'll go ahead and refresh this, and we'll go ahead and look at this thread. Something's wrong. This person's a lolicon, by the way. This person's a pedophile. Something's wrong here. By the way, I'm from the It's Just a Drawing crowd. Of course, towards made-up characters only. It's situational as always. These aren't lollies, he said, drawn children, and people say that's what lollies are all the time. Please use your critical thinking skills. So, the argument that this person is making here, trying to point out some kind of hypocrisy in cringe political posts' claims about lolly porn, is that when someone like me argues against lolicons, we say, you are jacking off to or attracted to drawn pictures of children. When we're referring to this, we're referring to how they're illustrated, how they're looked, and how they're portrayed, not the canonical age of the character. I'm sorry. Hot, spicy take. The canonical number age of a character when it comes to a drawn fictional character doesn't matter when it comes to the attraction someone has towards them nearly as much as the depiction of the character. Who would have fucking thought? This is the same reason why we don't accept the she's a 3,000-year-old dragon girl excuse when it's clearly a child. That's why we don't accept that excuse. And believe it or not, and I said this as much on Twitter here. We can go down to my post. Let's see, can we find it? Yep, here we go. So I quote tweeted that tweet thread and said, it's weird that the It's Just a Drawing crowd doesn't understand that a drawing with big titties and ass that looks like an adult isn't lolicon, even if the character from whatever degenerate anime it's from is underage, unless the character acts like a child, I guess. That's why we don't accept the she's a 300-year-old dragon girl thing when the character looks like a toddler. The age doesn't matter when it comes to attraction to drawn fictional characters. The appearance, and in some cases the behavior and maturity they are depicted with does. So, literally the correct take. This is the correct take. If anyone wants to come on and debate this with me, I will gladly do it. If you are completely wrong, if you think that like an adult-looking character, like a completely, like the images we looked at before, who I guess are canonically like 16 or something, if you think attraction to that makes you a pedo, then you agree with the lolicons who say it's not pedophilia to jack off to a character that's clearly a child because they're actually a 300-year-old dragon girl. That's what you agree with. You are in favor of that position if you think this is also lolicon, just unironically. And I got shit from this from some people. Not a lot, but aren't they teens though? The point going over the head, yeah. I mean, they look adult. Who's to say that the art is not them aged up? I'm pretty sure it's what it's supposed to be. Oh, my friend Denkcorp's making a very good point here, by the way. It's like this guy is 17. When a character looks like an adult and acts like one, it's whatever. The issue is when they look like a child. Being attracted to childlike features makes you a pedo. And no, I'm not talking about short women. This character is from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I believe. Never seen it, but I do know the art style. This character is 17 years old. What? I'm sorry. But if anyone here who is above age would be attracted to this guy, then I guess you're a pet. Though 17, being attracted to a 17-year-old probably isn't pedophilia unless they look like they're much younger. But like, let's be honest here. Yeah. So I don't think being attracted to this character is yikesy, despite the fact that he's 17 and acts like an adult. And I actually got like shit on from this. Like, let's see. I think it was like below. I think it was down here. Imagine admitting you would fuck a child as long as they look mature enough. Is this person a lolicon? I bet this yeah. Aspiring real life lolly. I love Yoi. Haiku, SNK. So this person is a lolicon. So their brain is pretty fucking melted from all the child porn they've consumed. So maybe that's why their comment is so dumb. Very, very dishonest jab there. Aren't these the same people that say that drawings aren't the same thing as real life? So it's pretty funny. Yaoi is gay anime porn. I think it's Yoi, not Yaoi. That's Yoi. Yeah, so you can kind of understand like the kind of people that were going after me for this. If we go back to my my account, you can see I quote tweeted some of them. Yep, here we go. So it was like I have this person blocked because they're a dumb fuck. I just block anybody who's a piece of shit on Twitter now. This person is like talking with somebody about how I guess I'm a pedophile now, and says, yeah, these are not drawings of children, in response to that image we showed earlier of like the two characters with the big titties and ass. And this person says the best thing is that Xander Hall got into it too. It's pretty fucking wild. It's pretty fucking wild. Guys, listen. Believe me, I go after these lolicon people all the fucking time. I've debated them on stream multiple times, and you guys should know more than anybody else on this like Breadtube side of things. I've gone after these people quite a bit, okay? So don't go thinking that I'm defending any of these people, because when you go after me for this opinion, you are implicitly agreeing with the opinion of the lolicons who say that it's okay because it's a 300-year-old dragon girl, when in reality they look like a fucking child. If that's the opinion that you have, then if you take issue with my take, then that's the problem there. God damn it. Okay. That is unreasonably fast. That is unreasonably fast. That is not okay how fast that was. I'll add that later, okay? It won't even be active on the stream. Like the website won't update quick enough for it to appear on screen until after the stream anyway, so I'll just add that off stream. But yeah, that's pretty good. Bro, is your nose okay? Yeah, I'm fine right now. I don't have anything in my nose right now. I'm not bleeding, so I assume I'm okay. But regardless, with that said, lolicons are fucking cringe. They make me cringe. They're typically pretty fucking crazy, and they dogpile anyone who speaks out against their weird child porn, their weird drawn child porn, so fuck them. They can die in a hole in Minecraft. They can dig straight down in Minecraft. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it a lot. What's your opinion on banning lolly porn? I don't think it should necessarily be banned, unless it's like, oh, God. So here's the problem, okay? I've debated this with lolicons before. There's a lot of issues when it comes to the decision of whether or not something is like child porn that we don't usually like talk about because it's like really complicated, right? So hear me out here. Let's say you have a picture of like a 8-year-old girl in like a swimsuit at the beach, and you see that framed on the wall of her dad's house. Like it's a dad with a picture of her daughter at the beach framed on the wall above like the fireplace or whatever. Now, you wouldn't consider that, I guess child porn wouldn't be the technical definition, but like child sexual material, right? You wouldn't consider it that, right? I imagine most people here in chat, like hypers, if you wouldn't consider it like problematic in that case. Yeah, they're family. Well, it's not because they're family. It's because in this scenario, that material isn't being used in an inappropriate way, right? However, let's say you find that same exact picture, no changes, just same picture, sitting in a folder of some creepy 40-year-old dude who's jacking off to it in like his porn folder. Let's say that's where you find it. The context changes that material now. That material is now problematic. Although I'd say the person using that material for inappropriate means is the more problematic one. Regardless, though, in this case, it would be considered inappropriate material. So there are cases in which it's bad. So the problem is lolly and lolly porn are two different things. Like lolly would just be like an underage character, I guess, in an anime, which is fine. Obviously, you can have like a kid in an anime as long as she's not sexualized, or I guess he's not sexualized. Then I don't really fucking care. You can have kids in anime if they're just not being sexualized. But if it's being used for pornographic purposes, at the very least, I feel like maybe the people that are consuming that type of material should probably be put on a watch list. I'm going to be honest. If you watch and enjoy lolly porn, you should probably be on a watch list. I really do. I think that I don't think you should be arrested. I don't think lolly porn should be banned, but you should probably be put on a watch list because, you know, can we at least keep it off Twitter? Lonnie's right. Can we at least keep it off Twitter? Because, like, those fucking people are insane. It is actually bannable on Twitter, by the way. Every single lolly account that I've banned or reported to Twitter has been banned eventually. It takes them, like, a couple weeks to get to it, but eventually they do get permabanned. So, by the way, if you see those lolicon types on Twitter, just report them. Just report them and block them, okay? Report as many of them as you can. They get banned eventually. That shit's off the platform. The main worry I have when it comes to lolicons on Twitter is their interactions with children. Do you really think that these lolicons aren't DMing? Wait until Stone Toss clips this on Twitter. I wouldn't be surprised. Do you think that these lolicon types aren't contacting real children on Twitter? Of course that's fucking happening. These people are fucking crazy, dude. Of course they're fucking doing it. They're creepy as fuck. So yeah, I think these accounts that are like going super hard for like the lolly porn should probably be banned off Twitter. And they do if you report them enough. It's just Twitter doesn't have the resources to go out over everybody, so you have to report them. You have to do that side of the job for them. So yeah, it's a good public service. By the way, if you're watching this video right now, do that. Report lolicon accounts to Twitter, all right? You don't want them doing shit with actual kids and grooming them through the internet. But with all that said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. If you're new and you want to see more from me, subscribe and ring the bell icon. You can also follow me on Twitter through the link in the description, as well as joining my fan Discord through the link in the description, which is, if you ever want to debate me, the best way to do so, please, if you want to debate me, join my Discord. On top of that, if you have any extra money sitting around, you don't know what to do with it, and you don't need it for anything else, you can always financially support me. It's always very appreciated. It's how I do this for a living. You can either donate or subscribe on the website, xanderhall.com/live. That always helps a lot. Or you can pledge to me on Patreon or hit the join button on YouTube and become a YouTube member, which is like subscribing on the website, but on YouTube instead if you're a degenerate YouTube chatter. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good one.